Hi you guys, thank you so much for joining me today and welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and today I'm going to share with you some cozy fall coffee recipes.
So with these coffee recipes, you will be able to make delicious, cozy coffees at home. And one of the things I really like about them is I use stevia instead of sugar, so it really cuts down on your calories. And I also use cashew milk instead of regular milk, so if you have any issues with dairy, then these coffee recipes are perfect for you. And I'm using all simple ingredients that you probably already have at home. So if you guys want to see more about my cozy fall coffees, then grab yourself something cozy to sip on and enjoy. The first thing we need to do is make a pot of coffee. So I'm using my Mr. Coffee 5-cup coffee maker. So what I'm going to do is just add a filter, and these are my half-calf coffee grounds. So if you haven't seen that video yet where I make these coffee grounds, follow the link in the description box below. I'll put a link up for that one. So this is my half-calf coffee, and I'm going to use 2.5 of these big scoops, and then I will add 5 cups of water before I start my coffee maker.
Alright you guys, so everything you're going to need for these coffees is right here, and you'll notice some repeat items, but I think that is what makes this so nice, is the recipes are really simple and they're all things that you may have at home. So I've got my pot of coffee here, of course my coffee cup, I've got some pumpkin pie spice, I have pure vanilla extract, I have a coffee creamer. You can use whichever one you want. This is just what my grocery store carries. And I like the French vanilla. And then I have some silk cashew milk, but you could use almond milk. If you're not dairy intolerant like me, you can just have regular milk. I also have some just regular baking cocoa and some powdered stevia. And I just always make sure I get the stevia that just has the stevia leaf extract in it. So those are all the ingredients that you're going to need for these coffees. Okay, so since it's fall, the first thing I'm going to make for you guys is a pumpkin spice coffee, and it's not really a latte. As you guys can see in the background, I do have an espresso maker, but you guys know I had some health problems, and so I'm trying to have half-calf coffee instead. So that's why today's recipe is all half-calf coffees, and we're not going to use any espresso, although of course if you want to modify any of these recipes, go ahead and use regular coffee, go ahead and use espresso, and they'll still be really yummy. Okay, so just starting out, let's just pour a little bit of coffee into our mug here. And whoops, I always spill. I'll get that. Oh good, it didn't even show up on camera. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of my cashew milk. And this is the first time I've tried cashew milk, you guys, but I really actually like it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead in with a little bit of my stevia. And I usually just use about a half a spoonful. And I'm just going to add a tiny little splash of vanilla. And just a tiny little dash, like that's maybe an 1/8 to 1/4 of a teaspoon. I may even use less than that because I don't like it too strong. and that's the pumpkin pie spice going in. And that's it. It's as easy as that. Now you have pumpkin spice coffee at home, and it's even healthier for you. Okay, so it's taste test time. So let's see. This is the pumpkin spice coffee, and I know I make this every day, so I already know that I like it, but I'm gonna try it on camera for you guys anyways because, you know, ambiance and all. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just love it, you guys. It's so easy, and it's so, the thing I like about it is there's not too much flavor in it, so I don't like the flavoring of my coffee to be super strong. I like to still be able to taste my coffee, and I think that's what I really like about these recipes, and this one in particular, is I get the aroma of the pumpkin spice, and I get the flavor of it, and I get that little bit of sweetness and that little bit of vanilla, but it's not overpowering, so it's a really good cup of coffee. Okay, so the next coffee we're gonna make is a mocha coffee, and you can see the only thing I've switched out is I've switched out the pumpkin spice for some baking cocoa. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna add a little bit to our coffee cup here, about a half a cup, and then I'm gonna add some of my cashew milk. And a little spoonful of some stevia, about a half a teaspoon. And then I'm going to add, about somewhere between a quarter teaspoon and a half a teaspoon of cocoa, because I don't want it too terribly chocolatey. I just like the hint of the flavor. And then to top it all off, I'm going to add a little dash of vanilla, just for some extra flavor. And you've got yourself a nice mocha coffee, and of course you could top this with whipped cream if you wanted something extra special on top. Okay, so now it's time to try our mocha, and as you can see, I did have a couple sips already because it was so tasty. I just had to try some. I think that next time when I make this, it's been a while since I made it, I think next time when I make this, I will add just a little bit more stevia. I think that the cocoa was a little strong, so maybe next time I'll add just a tiny bit more stevia, or maybe just a little bit less cocoa. But play around with it and let me know what you guys like. It's still good. It's still a mocha, you know, it's still cocoa in your coffee. Okay, and then the last recipe I'm going to make for you guys is probably my favorite of all of them, and it's just a vanilla cream coffee, and it's so simple. Maybe that's why I like it so much, because it's really easy to make. Okay, so we're going to start with our coffee again, of course, and I'm going to top it off with some of my cashew milk. And then this is really just for a little bit of extra flavor. It does have a little sugar in it, so I don't use it very often because I'm not supposed to have a lot of sugar. So I'm just going to do about a teaspoon of it because the serving size is 4 teaspoons, yeah. And there's only 60 calories in it, so it's not really that bad. And in 4 teaspoons, there are 7 sugars. So really, if I only use 1 teaspoon, that's not too much sugar. And there you have it. There's your vanilla cream coffee. It's so, so good. This is my favorite, you guys. Okay, so last but not least, here's my favorite. Here's my vanilla. It smells so good. It smells just like a vanilla candle. It's really, really yummy. And it's not too sweet because it's got that cashew milk in there with just a dash of the creamer behind it. I think that for me, if I just had creamer, it would be a little bit too strong. It would be too flavorful. And this way I get a little bit of the buttery flavor from the cashew milk, and I get that vanilla from my creamer, and it's not too sweet because it's just a tiny little bit of sugar. So I hope you guys like this little fall coffee video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment and let me know if you tried any of these coffee recipes and if you have a favorite fall coffee that you just have to have. Thanks guys. Bye.